Previously in X-Men. Unbeknownst to Wolverine, who recently left the team for a solo adventure, Storm was accidentally killed during the team's encounter with Nanny and the Orphan Maker. The Reavers, led by Donald Pierce and Lady Deathstrike, are moving in for the kill. And in the wake of Inferno, members of Sinister's Marauders were scattered in the wind, leaving Lorna Dane, possessed by Malice, on the run. I am Jason Lapidus.
I'm Chris Hannigan.
And we are a Group of 7 Comics. Welcome to episode 191 of our ongoing read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic, as we read Uncanny X-Men 249 by Chris Claremont, Marc Silvestri, and Dan Green. Cover date of early November 1989. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well. It feels like it's been 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, last week we had, you brought it up, not me. We had the World Series going on last week in Toronto, and we had a game that we all wanted to watch. And so I put up a pre-taped episode about the X-Men, 1992 X-Men, the trading cards drawn by Jim Lee.
Right, okay.
Good episode. Did really well, by the way. People really enjoy it, and I'm grateful for all the positive views and the comments. People were engaged by some nostalgia on that one, big time. I mean,
cool.
Jim Lee's iconic work on X-Men, right?
Yeah. No, I remember those cards for sure, which is pretty cool. So do you have a set then? Is that what you... I
do not. So you tell me you didn't watch the episode? What kind of... No, I'm just joking. I don't... we're good. I have a book, and you might want to pick it up too. It's a reasonably priced. It's back on the shelf. It's back there. Okay, I'll get it. Hold on. I want to disturb the puppy. I don't like when you make me turn my back to the camera. But anyway, this, Chris.
Yes, that's the one. Ooh.
So all the cards are inside, and it's a fun one. Okay. So check out either the episode. There's also, of course, an episode on Cartoonist Kayfabe about it, which is quite thorough. And you can buy that book you can order it through your local comic store or through some sort of online retailer that you may or may not endorse. But I'm not specifically sending anyone there. Yeah, it's a good one. And seeing Jim Lee's art is super cool. As Mass, who's in the chat, hello to you, sir. And Michael, hello to you as well. Mass pointed out that a lot of the original art from those trading cards is in the Jim Lee X-Men Artist Edition, which I do not own, but one day, it'll come into my sphere, my circulation.
And the week before that, we did the first Jim Lee. Right?
We did the first issue of Uncanny X-Men that Jim Lee did pencils on, which was 48, the one where Storm is killed unceremoniously, anticlimactically, and accidentally is killed, and Longshot left the book that issue too. Is that correct?
He did. Yeah.
Maybe he left. I still don't know if that was a ghost. I don't know. Let's talk about this for a minute. I was after that issue, I was talking to my friends at Planet X Comics, whatever it's called, Planet X in Richmond Hill, which is my local comic shop. And they're the nicest people there. They always put good books aside for me and let me know when stuff comes in that I might be interested in. They treat me really nicely, so I'm very grateful for that. That being said, we were in there, and Anthony and I were in disagreement about our enjoyment of Nanny and Orphan Maker as characters.
Okay.
And he pointed out, and I'm grateful. Like when I don't get something, when someone doesn't jive with me, sometimes it's just because I don't get it. And I actually take the I don't get it part not as it's bad and that's why it doesn't work. It means that I'm not understanding something. And so he pointed out to me that it's supposed to be absurd. Like it's comedic. They're ridiculous villains. And I was like, I'm kind of misreading the comic. I'm not like, I love absurdist comedy. I'm a big fan of like Conan O'Brien, Monty Python. Like I love that stuff. But when it comes to X-Men, the version I default to is sort of the self-serious, that version of X-Men. But I don't take the cues from Jim Lee's art that it's comedic. or Silvestri's art that's comedic. I think if it was someone maybe more like it's like a Mad Magazine thing, if it was leaning towards a cartoony style, I might pick up on those cues that this is supposed to be silly. But whenever the X-Men
Right.
goes, we know Chris Claremont goes silly regularly. In an annual, he'll do a bit, or there'll be an issue here or there. And you and I don't seem to like together. You and I don't get them. We don't jive with those issues. I think it's that he has a sense of humor that's not being represented in the art, and some people are still taking it in and processing it as funny, and I definitely am not. I'm missing it, and I don't know. I just want to bring that up. It gives me that lens I need to be looking through when we get those issues. That I should be taking a breath and being like, this is the Halloween episode. Like this is the Christmas episode. Like I gotta change my point of view and embrace and lean into the absurdity of it because I'm not good at it.
That's certainly one way to look at it. And no, but I mean, but interesting though. I mean, at least in our experience, or at least for you and I, if we're absorbing and we're not absorbing the comedy because perhaps we're not connecting it to the art, it's just coming off as absurd and nonsense, but not in a fun way. So it's interesting, right? Like if it's not connecting, then we're probably then leaning into this makes literally no sense. You know what I mean?
Sure.
As opposed to thinking like, oh, perhaps this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of, like we look at Nanny and Orphan Maker, Orphan Maker, Mocker, I believe it's German. And we're like, we don't what are these characters? Come on,
right?
What's even going on here? One's an egg, and one has no face. I don't understand.
But for some reason, when it's Stanley and Jack Kirby, and it's a villain screaming on top of a building with mustache twirling,
yes,
we get the absurdity of that, and it can be really funny. But maybe as the art goes toward the representative of like something more realistic, or something that's supposed to be realistic, I'm not connecting with it. Like I don't have an example off the top of my head. Maybe like a silly Spider-Man villain when they play it for laughs, or Stiltman, for instance.
Sure.
Who's like a punching bag for Daredevil in a way. It seems to work, but with
a very tall punching bag.
Yes. And we don't really try and overthink, like, how tall are these stilts? How many tens of stories high is he? We just go with it because it's sort of funny. But either way, I'm just grateful that someone kind of gave me a shot in the arm and said, "Hey, just try reading it through a different lens."
Did they say, "Hey, Jason, stop yelling at that cloud. You need to read the X-Men through this different lens"?
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I definitely sometimes I do feel like an old man yelling at the cloud, right? And that's fine. I'm getting there, and I feel like it's okay to do. But I'd much rather enjoy the comic than not like it. Matt Ashew, how you doing? Says the New Mutants and Warlock highlight what you're talking about. Talking about characters like MCU's character slapstick. Yeah, Warlock definitely, I think, plays that comedic cartoony role for sure. But certain artists do it really well, and certain artists don't. Arthur Adams leans into the cartooniness of it, and he bends the characters when it's time for them to be funny. And he is pretty cheeky. Like, he has a funny sense of humor anyway on his own. He's always putting little things in the backgrounds or in the foreground out, in shadow to make it funny. I've never really thought Jim Lee or Silvestri were actually funny in the same kind of way. By the way, is there someone or something right near your feet that is having a good sleep?
I was going to ask you that, if you can hear that.
Is your dog like right there having a sleep?
Yeah, one of them is. Yeah, right there.
Beautiful. I definitely.
Is it picked up? Or is it?
Oh yeah. It is. I find soothing.
Okay.
So I'm a fan of hearing the dog breathing and hearing the baby snore, whatever it might be. I'm down for all of that.
Did you hear that, Bijou?
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
You're on YouTube now.
Yeah. That's cool. I as long as it's not you and you're wheezing, and you're okay, that's if it's a
But
dog.
oh, it's me. But where's it coming from?
Yes. I'm curious. We have another conversation that we need to have off camera, perhaps. Hey, if you're enjoying this kind of content, please click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, throw a comment in the comment section below. We appreciate it. We're definitely on the way to 600. We're almost there, actually, this week. We passed 590, and it's been a fast jump from 500 to 6 as we're quickly approaching. Then we're at 593. And, hey, we greatly appreciate your support, so cheers on that.
Super cool.
You can, of course, pick up our comics, Group of Seven Almost Secret Tale, and Peregrine's Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs at our website, group7comics.ca, and that's in the description below. And there you can get both print and digital formats for our 2 graphic novels that are now available. And sign up to the sign up, please, to the newsletter. That way we can keep you apprised of any upcoming comics or appearances or any updates overall. And that would be it's the best way to stay in touch with us, is being part of that newsletter. And we don't send them out very often, so we won't bombard you with spam. Yeah.
We could say too on this is we have a couple of shows coming up. That next Sunday, this Sunday coming up. I'm not sure. You're not planning on coming, are you? The Guelph? It's only a few hours, and it's Guelph Book Bash, which is a local book show for writers and creators in the Guelph community, and so I'm going to be part of that with the books, which will be a lot of fun. Be a cool opportunity just to hang out with some other creative types and maybe pick up a few early holiday presents. We'll see what's going on there. And then the following week, I'll be at Mississauga Comic Expo, MCX, at the Mississauga Public Library on the Saturday. I guess it's the 15th, maybe?
Correct.
I'll be there. And I know a lot of our other friends will be there as well from the GTA Comics creating crew. So that'd be a good show. Free show, too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, are you at York at all on Thursday or Friday?
I was going to say we should meet up for lunch.
Yeah, I should get you the banner and give you some signed copies of those books.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get all that. Let's get some stuff. Let's some prints and but yeah, we can chat about it afterwards. But
we're
Friday's
sure.
Looking good.
Okay, I'll keep that one in the calendar. I know for both this weekend and the next weekend, things have really picked up. My son's got a hockey tournament this weekend, and next weekend, I'm also Saturday. I'm not able to say what it is because there are surprises for other people that might be watching, and I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not you. Whoever you think you are, it's not for you. But I'm socially engaged as well as coaching hockey, so it's I'm triple booked both days, and it's comics events. That's for June or May through September. Right now, it got so busy with hockey. It's amazing and ridiculous.
Right.
We've also got a second show on the channel on Saturday mornings. It's not live, so it just drops Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. It is called Leveling Up, where every episode I look at a new book and I see what I can learn to help me improve my comic making technique. I want to level up, of course. And so the one that dropped on Saturday was about a really, really great Kirby art book that is called The Art of the Fantastic Four, strangely put out by Dark Horse. And it features all the covers for all the Kirby issues. Some of them are original art. Some of them are just recreations of the printed comic. And then there's 4 issues within it, I think, or 4 or 5 full Fantastic Four issues of original art inside, as well as some posters and some great stuff. It's a really, really, really good art book. Highly recommend. But fun to do the episode. Check out Leveling Up also on our channel.
Yeah, and our third show is coming, which is called Leveling Down, which is actually just me trying to just create the worst possible stuff. So
teach you all the wrong habits. Hey, why don't you fill that pen of yours up with a cartridge of syrup? See how that works.
Got a good stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. So before we get into this issue here, this cover always stayed in my mind after all. I I picked this up off the newsstand, or let's see. No, I think I went to the comic store. I'm looking at that. That tells me it's the direct market.
Mm-hmm.
I was picking this up on the regular back then, reading X-Men and figuring stuff out. And I think this issue has some of the best Silvestri, Dan Green. I feel like they've hit a stride. And this issue, to me, plays to a lot of Silvestri's strengths. Like, time and time again, we'll see him trying something interesting that really works. So barbarians, exaggerated power poses, like from Havoc on this cover, irregular organic landscapes, asymmetrical shapes and atmosphere. Like, this is all leaning into all of his best stuff. I'm thoroughly enjoying his work on this issue, and neat to see the cover, just like how much he doesn't draw, how much he's leaving to the colorist to do. And I wonder what the pencils would have looked like that Dan Green is choosing to make these like fade into smoke, fade into dust lines. But you really don't need more. Like, he's kind of teaching you how to work sparse.
Yeah. There's so much love about this cover, I think. Especially like I think we and I chatted about this. There's definitely like some Mignola vibes going on there. There is like the Conan, the Frank Frazzetti. Is that the
Frazetta? Yeah.
Frazetta, right. So that's the artist on those famous covers.
But also all the novels.
Yeah, right. And you and I have chatted too about sometimes how Havoc, depending on the artist or can look really great and sometimes not look at. He looks awesome on this cover, and he's not doing like the shootout of the hands. He's doing this, like, it's just like this is peak badass Havoc. This looks fantastic.
I agree with you. Yeah. I love like where he's positioned. So there is this like composition thing that Frazetta popularizes, that Mignola takes, that Buscema takes, that obviously Silvestri does, and it's this triangle composition. So everything fits in a triangle, moving toward almost the center of the page. So Havoc's head being the peak of it, and then using the landscape to kind of bring us down to the sides. And Mignola does this a ton because they're both pulling from Frazetta, and it's neat because Frazetta's like oil painting guy, and these guys have found a way to sort of translate all this beautiful color and lighting and fantastic anatomy into, okay, it's black and white and it's done in a day. Whereas Frazetta just would spend all the time and do these very like romantic classical pieces. Both of them, both Mignola and Silvestri, find their way to adapt the key things about his style into this minimalist pen and ink thing, and it's so cool. Now, Frazetta did do comics too. You can find some EC work of his in the 50s, and it's great. But it's awesome just to see these guys do it. And the same way that like I learned country music from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, doing country and western through that lens of 60s culture and 70s with the Stones as well. I'm learning Frazetta through Mignola and through Silvestri. And whatever he was pulling from too, whatever Frazetta was pulling from. I've never like read a Frazetta comic. I've never owned a Frazetta art book, but I'm obviously very tempted to get my hands on those things. If you want to see some serious Mignola versions of Frazetta's compositions, take a look at the cover of Wolverine Jungle Adventure. That's a great example of this kind of thing.
Absolutely. Interesting, though. I know we're on the cover. Do we want to go to like the main cover, like the colored cover?
Sure. That sounds like fun.
Okay.
Just removing this. Whoa.
Unless you had something else.
Whoa.
So, and what, again, just from a coloring perspective. So there's Frazetta is also known for for his women as well, like on the covers, and usually kind of damsel in distress type thing. We have that here with Malice, Lorna Dane. But interestingly, the coloring, because Lorna is already purpley, you almost could miss her. Like, I know she's large, like she's not small by any means, but your eye is drawn to the light, to like the Havoc, the solar cosmic energy, couple of guys at the bottom, but like the cool blues and purples, they work so well atmospherically, but then you almost lose sight of Malice like right away, which I think is interesting because she's an integral part of the composition.
She also looks like she's big.
Yes.
Like she's getting close to She-Hulk size.
Right.
She looks like a big figure. I love that frog dude.
Yes.
And then just the illusion, and I don't mean illusion, but illusion, to the figures coming in from the background with the weird demented mouths and their hair. Hey, Chris, have you ever watched Fire and Ice?
You know what? I haven't. I do know what you're talking about, but I have not ever seen it.
A marriage of Ralph Bakshi animation with Frank Frazetta designs.
Right.
And I think the whole thing's on YouTube. Or maybe you could like watch it free on Tubi or one of those kinds of services.
Sure.
One of those streaming services that's free. And it is a story that, it drags and it's slow and it's a little weird at times. But it is just some classic, just the figure designs and the Bakshi animation is really, really cool. But anyway, I digress. Matters to You's giving me a compliment. He says, your style is cool, Jason. It's a mashup of Steve Dillon, Phil Hester with a touch of oming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll move on. I don't take compliments well, so we'll just move on. And Jason Jose says, hello, X-Peeps. Hello back at you. Michael, hello to you too. I didn't mention you off the top, but I hope everyone is well. $249 now on sale twice a month. That's pretty exciting.
It is. Should we dive into it?
Yeah, well, sure.
Okay.
Whoa. I remember when they switched from those gray cartridges to the black ones. That's cool.
I don't.
So I played like to death Tetris, RBI Baseball, and Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet for sure.
Those are 3 games I played a ton of. RBI Baseball, and I don't remember if there was more than one.
There might have been.
We played that one so much. It was before the Jays got, our beloved Blue Jays got really, really good.
Yeah.
And so I was only mediocre into baseball at the time, 14, and I didn't love it a ton. But I really enjoyed playing this one, especially my friend Paul's. Shouts to Paul and Dave here. My friend Paul had that game, and we played it in his basement. And he always had a guy, one of his pitchers named Moore. And I would just always say that I was going to hit more home runs off Moore. And it was
very nice.
Yeah, good time.
Speaking of baseball for Nintendo, sorry to take this in the side but Tecmo Baseball. Do you ever play Tecmo Baseball?
No, I played Tecmo Football.
Yes, I played Tecmo Bowl too. That football.
Yes.
Too, absolutely. Tecmo Baseball, though, one of the things I used to love doing playing that game is you could kind of trick the game in a sense where
it's called cheating, Chris. It's called cheating.
I suppose. I don't know if Nintendo Power called it cheating, but it didn't matter. Magazine. What you could do is, like, say you hit a fly ball to the second baseman, and say someone was on first. The game was designed so that you would catch the fly ball, and the person on first would not go to second. Right?
Correct.
Right? Except you could make the person drop the ball, and then the person would be a live ball, and the person would then have to run to second. I did that all the time. You only got the one out, but I would just make the person drop the ball so that there'd be quote unquote confusion and chaos on the base paths.
How do you make the person drop the ball?
You can control the person catching the ball. So it would just come to like beep, just the last second I'd move it like boop. Like and you only had to catch it in like the whatever the vicinity was. And I would at the last second I'd move it just because it gave me great pleasure for the infielders to make errors.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Sounds like you're the kind of kid to pull all the wings off of flies.
I don't know why that stuck out as, I don't know why that sticks out as let's never I don't want to question why that sticks out as a core memory, but it does. So there you go.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's kind of
good stuff. Jason Jose says, speaking of Jays, sorry about that. I'm not a big Dodgers fan. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not a big Dodgers fan either. But it was a great series, great baseball, and I got to say it's fair and square.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bounce here and there. Go. I think if it had gone eight games, it would have been 4-4.
Would have been a classic 8-game series.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I do.
it was so evenly matched. Yeah, I just my heart really goes out to those diehard Jays fans that have been waiting decades for this, and my heart's with them.
Well, here's hoping that it's not 32 years again in between appearances in the World Series, and there's a good core there here in Toronto, and we would see it more often than not.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Sports.
On to some X-Men.
Yes.
My copy is like really uneven.
Okay.
It's cropped uneven.
Hmm.
Here, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Look at this. If you look at the bottom.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
It's like this, and then all of a sudden, so I have like extra space there past the line. I can see that's the trim line there.
Yeah, sure.
Very, very weird. So my issue is like it's curved. The reason I say this is because it makes everything look weird when I'm reading it. But so we're to understand just from this image, and I'll get to the reading part in a sec, that there is a table or some sort of Bristol board where they've painted their pictures, and then Havoc is going around crossing them off.
Yeah.
And people who have left or sort of died. He's just taken the red paint and just, it's such a morbid choice.
It is.
You know?
And you almost, you almost wonder if it's, if like he's doing it, like taking them out one by one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That kind of gives you that vibe too.
I also wonder who painted them in the first place. We know that Colossus is quite the artist.
We do.
I wonder if he'll come in and like yell him, "How dare you paint over my work?" You know, like him getting all upset. Anyway, Stanley presents The Dane Curse. Australia.
3 down, true believers, 5 to go.
That means he's planning on killing the rest.
Right. It gives you a little bit of that vibe.
So weird. Part 1 of the prelude to The Shattered Star. Starring the Uncanny X-Men. Chris Claremont, writer. Marc Silvestri, penciler. Dan Green, inker. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. Glynis Oliver, colorist. Bob Harris, editor. And Tom DeFalco, scorekeeper. Haha. Just a note, of course, this has been maybe getting close to 70 issues. Not every issue, but for the most part, about 70 issues of Dan Green, Tom Orzechowski, and Glynis Oliver, and Chris Claremont, of course, working on this with a different penciler coming through. And just what an incredible thing to have the team of Dan Green, Orzechowski, and Glynis Oliver on inks, letters, and colors to kind of keep the look relatively on brand, even when different people pass through different styles. Like Dan Green just seems to work with a lot of different people, but I think this is some of his best stuff in this issue with Silvestri. I love them as a tandem.
And the question of the hour on everyone's lips is, who's next?
We see over his shoulder, Colossus is putting Storm's body in an open grave. And I guess that's Gateway is standing there?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, he's there. Yes.
And then Dazzler in perfect typeface.
Yeah.
She lasers, "Storm, our beloved friend. May she at last be granted the peace and joy too often denied her in life."
Wow.
And then it says, Alex Summers, a.k.a. Havoc. He's drinking a Foster's beer, by the way.
Foster's.
He's a mutant. So are all the X-Men. He fires beams of raw energy. He's been known to blast mountains to powder. Right now, he's not too proud of that.
Here to see you, boss. Hail and farewell.
Sorry, doing that. There you go.
Boy, oh boy. Where are all our celestial buddies when they're really needed to resurrect somebody? Thanks a lot, Roma, for bringing us back just so we can get killed all over again. Hope it was worth the effort. Hope it's as much fun for you, babe, as it is for us. Nice table, huh? I made it. Madeline designed the sigil, painted the faces. Her gift to the team, she said, her way of making a contribution. 8-pointed star for 8 X-Men. Idea was we'd leave it as a sign, like the Lone Ranger's silver bullet, our calling card. So people wondered if it was us without knowing for sure. World thinks we're dead after all. Saw it happen live on global TV. Now some of us are for real. You tossed in some curse with your gift, Maddie, the Goblin Queen's ultimate revenge. Against the people forced to destroy her. How could you? You have hated us so much. When were your friends, Madeline? Wasn't I? The heck with the goddess Roma, bub. Where the devil are you?
There's, of course, referring to Wolverine, who left the team 2 issues ago to go on a solo adventure. He's, of course, having active adventures in his own solo series known as Wolverine, and he's still a star character in Marvel Comics Presents. He's like the marquee character. So it's funny, he's got these 2 various missions. And in those series, he's not superheroing so much as being like part pulp hero, part Humphrey Bogart detective,
okay,
and part like Commando or like Rambo, and that he's wearing, kind of camouflage and grease paint on his face and doing these like night stalking things, all but putting the bandana around his forehead, tying up his boots, and off he goes. So it is kind of weird that he's those 2 series aren't really casting him so much as superhero as adventurer and globetrotting pulp adventure. Hey, this Alex Summers, that one drawing of him with the bags under his eyes, or the shadow under his eyes there in the bottom left corner. I mean, that one feels like it's based on a model of some sort. But I can't help but see Alexander Skarsgård.
Right.
And by the way, anyone out there, if you have not watched The Northman, go watch The Northman. My goodness, what a movie. I want to watch it again right now.
I got to watch that movie.
So, yeah, if I have to cast someone as Alex Summers in this issue, it is him.
Okay.
It's Alexander Skarsgård from that film. But you have to, I guess, cut your hair and shave if you want to be in this movie, be in this comic.
Yes.
Because he's a Viking in that one. Or something. A man from the north.
Man of the North. The Northman. Would things have ended any differently if Wolverine had been here? All this time I was so sure that in a crunch I could handle myself as good as him. Maybe even better. What the monitors must have recorded everything that happened. Just my luck. Where's this playback coming from? I haven't touched control. Daz and I have found what we thought was a derelict ship. Got ambushed, locked into armored battle suits, forced to fight for some loony named Nanny. She was after the X-Men. That's what else is new. With our help, she grabbed Psylocke too. She almost pulled it off when Colossus busted me loose. Nanny was making her getaway. I was so spaced. I reacted without thinking. Dead on target. My plasmid beam blew Nanny's skybug to bits. Only problem was, Storm had been trying to stop her too. It was an accident. One of those stupid, pointless, lousy things that just seem to happen sometimes. But I should have known better. Should have done better. Computer backflashing explosion. Ah! Hello?
No. I got it. It's
somebody else.
Yeah. Hello? And then you read the next part. I think. Are you Lorna Dane or am I?
I don't remember.
Okay, I guess maybe for this one I'll be Lorna because you got to be Alex.
Right.
Alex? Oh, thank heaven! I pray to be you who answered. It's me, Alex, Lorna. Please don't hang up. I know after all this happened, that's asking a lot, but please hear me out. It's really me this time. That last confrontation with you guys and X Factor, when Mr. Sinister got killed, I guess it affected Malice somehow back in X-Men 243 or X Factor 39. More and more these past weeks, I've been myself. I kept picking up a phone, but till tonight, I never had the courage to make the call. Sorry. Alex, I need help.
Gee, I'm really sorry, but this isn't Alex.
Yeah, exactly. I know who it is. It's got to be me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to tell you, Chris. The one who said hello before was me for a reason.
Okay. Who is it?
Gee, I'm really sorry, but this isn't Alex. He can't come to the phone right now. Can I take a Mondo Dumpo message? No.
Poor baby.
Malice!
You ever figure he just doesn't care anymore?
Shut up!
Face it, sweetheart, you're old news.
He loved me.
Loved Madeline Pryor, too. Or so he said.
Leave me alone.
Don't I wish I could.
Mr. Sinister is dead. Why couldn't you have died with him?
Hey, I wasn't the one who ran away afterwards. You could have surrendered to your pals, but you didn't.
Probably because you forced me.
Dear little Lorna, if I was as in control as you like to think, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And what makes it really delicious is the fact that in the final bedrock analysis, all you're doing here is talking to yourself.
Liar! I also want to call him Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister.
No, Mr. Sinister.
Sinister.
Yeah, I want to make it flow together. Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister. Yeah, Sinister. Yeah.
Lost control. My magnetic power smashed the phone booth. Wish I could deal with Malice as easily.
Santa Maria. Hiya, miss. Are you all right?
It's translated from Spanish, by the way, Bob.
I can see that.
I'm sorry. I don't...
That's okay. I speak some English. You hurt?
I don't... No, Ramon, she's bleeding.
Small wonder with all this glass about.
Was it a bomb, do you think?
Who knows? Find a Dr. Luis, bring him to the cantina.
He's probably drunk.
Then bring me his medical kit. Andale, youngster.
Aye, aye, sir. On my way, sir. At the doubles, sir. Of all the luck, most beautiful woman any of us have ever seen, and Ramon grabs her for himself. Wonder what she's doing down the docks. I mean, I'm young. I'm good looking. What's that old sea dog got that I don't? In every port, there's always someone. It isn't fair. Whoops. There's a ship. Almost missed it in the fog. Just you wait, Ramon. I'm not beaten yet. This once I'm giving you Madonna. Something crunched him.
Something did. It was Mr. Bubbles.
It was Mr. Bubbles' Tubtails.
That's a whole other video series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Australia.
The devil take this. I've had enough.
What in the blazes was that all about?
Careful, Cole. Don't let him spot us.
Yeah, cut me some slack, Reese. That's Colossus, not Wolverine. He's the X-Men's muscle, not their tracker.
There is no harm, Trooper Cole, in being prudent. These are the Russians' paintings and sketchbooks. Why cast them away? And in such a rage.
Who knows? Who cares? Ain't artists supposed to be temperamental?
Maybe he didn't like what he drew. Colossus is the most stable and centered of them. This is unlike him.
Time we were rolling, Lady Deathstrike. We don't want to blow a good recon by getting spotted. Those guys look so cool. They look so cool. Just having the papers blowing by and that Glynis's coloring choices. Just it's like either sky or a mountain way in the background. It doesn't really matter. And just having them as one color themselves, like it's so good.
It is good. The little cybernetic pieces.
Yeah.
On board.
I told you I've been building.
Yeah.
I've been building some customs of these guys, and I got all the pieces except for I need one more head, but I actually have to take a Dremel.
Okay.
And like burrow out one of the heads to replace it with a different head. But keep the the mask, bubble mask, kind of intact. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll show it next time next episode. At least when we get the Reavers back. Maybe with 251. I think we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
And so, sometime later, some distance removed.
This is Pierce, right?
I think so.
Oh, no, I think it's still Deathstrike, because it looks like she's talking on the next page. There is a growing evolution in Peter Rasputin's work, as though he was being consumed by fury. See the violence of form and content? Life is a torment for him. Not even death is a release, merely the prelude to greater tortures. There is no joy left in him.
Now, are you Pierce as well, I think?
I think I'm Pierce.
Okay, sure. I'll be Bonebreaker.
Yeah, okay. A man after my own heart. Almost ashamed to kill so kindred a spirit. The Colossus is both mutant and X-Men, and therefore his fate is sealed. We may actually be doing the lad a kindness by putting him out of his misery. I have never beheld so tormented a soul. Madam, do I detect a note of mercy? The X-Men are our enemies. We have sworn their destruction. My concern, Pierce son, is for Wolverine. He is the object of my vengeance. I care nothing for the others.
Been watching the town for days, boss. No sign of the runt.
He will return, Bonebreaker, to find the Reavers waiting, with the corpses of his teammates as our calling cards. We Reavers are humanity's defenders, Lady Deathstrike. Against the scourge of mutant kind, we shall prevail, and they expunged from the face of the earth. And those who do not stand with me, committing all their heart and soul to this blessed enterprise, shall be ground to dust.
It's kind of neat that, Pierce was not really a major threat, I thought, when we met him.
Right.
Back in the Dark Phoenix saga. He was the most slim of the bunch. He had a cyborg arm or something. But Shaw was the big bad of that group, and Emma Frost, and Pierce was like an afterthought. But he's got some he's doing some scheming here. He's got quite the crew. And the fact they're just gonna wait for Wolverine and kill him, I'm interested.
Absolutely.
Later, sorry, we're gonna.
There you go.
Okay. Later still, back in the outback town, the X-Men have adopted as their home.
My room. My aching head. You must have slammed it pretty good. You left me flowers. What the heck is this?
The note says, a lady named Lorna called for you. Wouldn't say from where, but the computer took the message. She was crying. Sounded like she needs help real bad. Hope you feel better. Alex.
Psylocke. Cripes, doesn't she ever knock?
Only when necessary. And it's easy for a telepath to know when that is.
Gotta tell you, lady, it's no great thrill having your mind read.
And quite often less of one, I assure you, lad, to do the reading. The challenge isn't eavesdropping, it's shutting out the psychic noise. I heard your start of surprise when you awoke and came to see if anything is wrong.
You could have picked my thoughts out of the skull and saved yourself the trip.
I do not pry into friends' thoughts, Havoc, nor enemies without cause. Take a look at me in my negligee.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know that by now, you don't know me.
You're right there, Ms. Braddock. Because I don't know you. Armor is a good metaphor for you, Psylocke. Hides a lot more than just your body. Anyway, I squawked before because the last thing I remember was being KO'd in the computer center. Now I'm not only in my bed complete with flowers, someone's left this note. This is crazy. I blew a hole in this wall, I swear, big as a house.
I know, the memory is clear and distinct in your mind's eye.
If you see that, I suppose you also see the reason why.
We all wrestle with demons, Alex. In that regard, you're nothing special.
But notice how I've got clothes on, and you still are walking around in the negligee.
Oh, I've noticed. I've noticed.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, that certainly makes me feel better.
As does painting out the faces of those we've lost.
I like to keep score.
In more ways than one.
Someday, soon, we better strip this hardware down to the core. Too much of the systems we don't know, especially considering their last owners were that gang of cyborg outlaws, the Reavers.
You are our computer expert, Havoc. Begin whenever you please.
You talk like your boss. Okay. Calls being backtracked.
Does that bother you?
Frankly, yes. South America. City of Punta Arenas, Chile. Who said? Oh, is that? Oh, I guess who says you're qualified?
Find me someone better, and I shall step aside.
Call originated from the Dockside District. Indication is malfunction at the source.
Currently out of service. Alex, where are you going?
Where do you think?
Alone? Alex, whatever Lorna Dane meant to you, she is still a marauder. This could be a trap.
I know Lorna like I do myself. That was her voice, Psylocke. Not a trace of malice in it.
And whose voice will welcome you when you arrive? If the X-Men are to survive, Havoc, now more than ever, we have to be a team. And so after Colossus and Dazzler have been alerted and briefed...
Where the blazes is Psylocke? Who knows what's happening to Lorna? We gotta go. Don't push so hard, Alex. That's what got us so clobbered by Nanny, remember? And are you ever gonna let me forget? About time, lady.
My apologies for the delay. I've been scanning the town for intruders. Since none of us helped Havoc, I was trying to determine if anyone else is about who might have done so.
No luck, huh? Perhaps the computer was responsible. After all, it repaired itself. That, amigo, is not a comforting thought. Maybe Gateway, then. Wouldn't that be a hoot? To discover that our old mutant teleporter was taking care of us, just like Professor X used to.
I love the way that Colossus's outfit has just sort of shifted, where his belt, he's got the strongman outfit belt kind of on,
yeah,
where it covers up his abs, and I like this version of him so much, and I really hope they give us of course, I always want an action figure, right?
Sure.
I really hope we get one of these.
This look has grown on me. I think originally, we had Strongman, Circuit Strongman. I was like, I don't know, but it feels like it's really come to a place of comfort.
The way Silvestri just draws him, I like his proportions a lot.
Yeah, and
we're going to see a couple in this issue that he's just so playfully proportioned.
Mm-hmm.
Punta Arenas. On the Straits of Magellan, capital of the region that includes both Chile's half of the island of Tierra del Fuego and its claim on the Antarctic continent beyond.
Pretty messy cut, senorita. But it's mostly show. None of them are deep. Could sting like the devil, and I clean them, though. So if you sing out if it hurts, too bad.
She a Yankee?
Do you believe her hair?
Dressed like... Whoa. Dressed like that?
So, whoa. Rock and roll, Stan. Has to be.
It's rock and roll star. Has to be.
Rock and roll star has to be.
Stan.
Stan?
I'm a big girl. I can manage Stan. I can also take care of that myself, thank you.
Why are you running? What are you so afraid of, eh?
There she is.
Is it the same guy at last?
Yeah, but I thought we were reading around the...
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ah!
Holy mother!
Madmen!
Monsters!
Call the police!
Run for your lives! Ow! At last, we've found her. Like, this is insane. They're coming in on, like, giant bird things.
Right. Like
Awesome.
Like the birds from Up, you know?
Just like the birds from Up.
That's right.
They really burst in the door, which is great.
Yeah, totally.
I like how Silvestri does this room that they're in without really, again, drawing too much. He's got a couple of like bottles and jugs, a couple tables, some stuff hanging from the ceiling, and really almost like something behind the bar, almost no information. But again, it reads as being inside this kind of warm and maybe a lively room, or I don't know, like hospitable kind of. I don't know how to describe it, but I just find that he's good at not doing a lot with conveying just what you need.
Sure.
And so we don't know if they burst through a wall, a bay window, a door. It reads anyway that they burst in the room. I like their helmets. Oh, they mean me. Dinosaurs with barbarian riders. They must come from the savage land.
Scoot, senorita, quick as you can. Well,
No! They're slaughtering everyone like sharks in a feeding frenzy. Head still ringing. Got hit when they burst in. Can't focus concentration enough to use my power. My legs! Oomph! Again, here too, he just... like the window, there's no window frame. It's just the window. And then just out the wall, on the other side. It just, he doesn't spend time doing too much. It's really, really well done. Nothing broken. Just made me more of a mess than before. Wind knocked out of me. Can't catch decent breath.
You've run a fair race, girl. But it's done. And so are you.
Pretty much simultaneously, back by the ruined phone booth, our heroes emerge from Gateway's teleportal after an instantaneous jaunt across the Pacific from Central Australia. Remember, Gateway can only teleport us home from the place we arrived.
Yes, boss. Boy, somebody sure won the daylights out of that booth. No sign of Lorna. Without Wolvie, we can't follow her trail.
If she's nearby, a side search should... Good Lord! The town under attack!
Run!
The fire!
My arm!
Right back!
I'm sorry!
Everyone's screaming inside my head. Slayers and slain.
Scared.
Oh, kill, kill!
Defile the Outlanders' homes as they did ours.
Glory!
Drink!
Too much lust, too much passion, too much fear. Can't block it. Ow!
Psylocke is down. This will deal with this swine who struck her.
Those beaks are crazy.
Yeah.
Like razor beaks.
Razor beaks. Scratch his buddy, too.
Like how... This is crazy. It's Just incinerate that thing to the skeleton. Just
yeah. You think, first of all, by the way, like Colossus's punch would pretty much knock out the bird and the rider, and just for good measure, Havoc incinerates the bird.
It's crazy, and it looks great.
It looks super cool. Yeah,
I love that upgrade of him using his fists as like the vessel or the mechanism to sort of like punch power.
Conduit. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Bet.
Merely shaken, Allison. My armor absorbed the brunt of that blow.
Lucky girl. You should all wear a suit. Geez, Havoc, did you have to? Considering my power dazzler, it's hard to do less.
Smells like chicken.
Exactly. Did anyone order a bucket of chicken? Is it me, Bets, or is Alex getting out of hand?
He's hurting, Allie.
Ain't we all? Is that an excuse? Would you care to mind probe my prisoner, Psylocke?
Try my best. If that is your best, Outlander, we have nothing to fear. Bow down, fools. Yield while you still have lives to save.
Hold that thought, Bunky. Psylocke's a lady. She has scruples. I'm not so forgiving. How about I sizzle you, say, a limit of time till you decide to cooperate? Heat's so intense, the stumps will instantly cauterize, so you won't bleed to death. Tough guy like you, bet you'll last a long time.
My lord, Havoc, you're serious?
You betcha, babe. Hey, Bunky, you'd rather not talk. Guarantee you'll hurt. Your choice, your funeral.
Wrong, X-Men. It's yours. Poor, purely pathetic pale skins. Look how helpless they are, thanks to Whiteout.
My eyes! What happened? I can't see. That voice. Oh, that's Colossus. That voice. One of these savage land mutates. Barbarous!
Whiteout's the latest to join us, Tin Man. She creates the same kind of glare effect you get on a sunstruck ice field. World flashes so totally bright you're temporarily blinded. And what you can't see, you can't fight. Blech. I want some mutates figures.
Yeah. Are there? There must be a couple.
There are not.
Oh, okay. I feel like that has to be rectified.
Yeah.
My own light powers must neutralize Whiteout's attack. I can still sort of see. Two can play that game, chum. My Dazzle Blast should stop you in your tracks.
Do you want to be the frog guy?
Sure.
You got a frog guy voice?
Amphibist has the mind witch.
Armor keeping me from being seriously hurt, but too shaken to focus thoughts to defend self. As he bounces her like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
A wasted effort, fair one, against Gaza, who has been blind since birth.
Ow.
Friends can't help you, pretty. You're all alone. For Amphibious to play with.
So he just like pulled on a razor glove? Is that how?
Glove?
What do you think?
That
That looks like he's pulling on a razor glove of some
looks
kind.
like it. Yeah.
Very cool. And it's still, yeah.
Why are you smiling, pretty? You like the thought of being cut?
Allison?
Voice in my head. Pain is making me loopy. I'm bent over and a man's about to hit me on the bottom with a stick.
Pretty provocative,
Right.
pretty provocative image.
Yeah.
And it just like no reason to do it that way.
No
other
reason
than
at
just
all.
Suggest a spanking.
Yeah.
No, it's Psylocke. Gaza is closing in behind you to spank your tuchus.
The pervert Gaza is closing in behind you.
On my cue. Roll and fire.
Here goes nothing. Double-barreled solid light photon force blast. Pew, pew, pew. One shot for Gaza. Who's the other for?
Me. A most splendid one it is indeed, too. Colossus. This one's shiny skin. Flesh will prove stronger and deadlier than steel. And I love that, like all those fists, like bam, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a playful breaking of the rules that they've been usually using. But it reads as sort of like speed punching. It's great.
Yeah, it does.
I'm telepathically locking Barbaros's mind, such as it is, freezing him in place. I haven't the strength to hold him long, Pyotr Nikolaevich. You've only a second to act.
Not to worry, Psylocke.
Oh.
I will break his neck. It is more than enough for Colossus, breaker of men's necks.
Yeah, blammo.
Hey! That's Whiteout. That's her one line. Hey!
Yeah.
Those mutates. I thought we had seen the last of them ages ago. That'll be the day. They're always from home. Think they're getting greedy for more than the Savage Land?
I have those answers, Havoc, and perhaps a plan to go with them. If somebody among you stalwarts would kindly help me down. So she's like team leader kind of right now.
Yeah.
As just by talking to Havoc. I would imagine, truthfully, Colossus being the longest standing X-Men. It's like and he's true of heart.
Yeah.
But there's only 4 X-Men. It's crazy.
Exactly. It is something wild. This is
I believe that is.
Saladin?
Yeah, look at those heels.
Okay. Citizens of Punta Arenas, the destruction of your homes is but right and fitting retribution for the recent wanton befouling of Antarctic waters by a vessel based at this port, which ran around and contaminated the sea with the cargo of crude oil.
It was an accident.
Had the ship not been there in the first place, it would not have happened. That's my girl, sweet Lorna Dane. Breathe deeply. Let the fragrance of the black lotus remove all your troubles and spirit you happily away to dreamland. Your lives, Alcalde, will make the point beyond all doubt that Zaladane is not to be taken lightly, and that you threaten her and her domain, the Savage Land, at your peril. Firstly, the Savage Land is no way your domain. Secondly, torching this city is one thing, but if you're serious about killing its people, you'd better be prepared to sacrifice your own life in the bargain. 3 of you dare challenge Mahord?
I love the way the Colossus is standing, by the way. That previous, like, I don't know, something cool there.
Oh, yeah. You know how many we are, Zaladin, or at least pretend to be, provided she does not suspect we are bluffing. And what we can do, make your judgment accordingly. Unlike the X-Men to offer terms, or for Colossus to act as spokesman, their usual tactic is simply charge, led by Storm or Wolverine. I offer an exchange, my prisoners for yours, plus a safe withdrawal from my forces. Are those terms acceptable? Niet. Those flyers, are they not?
The High Evolutionary's handiwork. I identified Zaladane from Havoc's memories as the Evolutionary's assistant, Zala.
The mutant saved us.
Our city, our homes.
Where's the army?
Why did they let them get away?
Probably in league with them.
How awesome is that stance from Colossus, by the way? Like, just he's
Yeah,
a tank. His torso is super long. It looks good though.
it does. This is Havoc.
Yeah.
I've heard of Lorna Dane, but never met her or seen a picture. Another careless mistake. I'm an X-Man. I should know all our old villains. What's she want with Lorna anyway? I've searched the world for you, dear sister. Sister? And now that I've found you, that the world and its people tremble. Not if Havoc can help it, lady. You don't know it yet, but you're finished.
Next, Fever Dream.
Ooh.
And some Quasar comics.
Quasar!
Yeah, Wendell Vaughn just won the Cosmic Lottery. The prize. He's the first human to be named Protector of the Universe. What's the Universe? I never heard of that.
I don't know.
Yeah, the problem, he's got a hand-me-down weapon to do a hand-me-down job. Boy, does he have his hands full now. Quasar!
Quasar!
David Cutler, how you doing? He says, did I miss the debut of Jason's curly impression for some side character? Oh, I mean, there was just one line. Just a one line.
Wow.
Havoc is really stepping up to the forefront in this issue, obviously.
Yeah.
And Psylocke, in that sort of leader role. But I would have thought Colossus would kind of be the centerpiece, but we're in a kind of a weird moment with this team.
With the entire team, we're in a weird moment. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know.
I dig it. I really dig the artwork in this one.
Yes.
I think hey, just as an example, can you go back to that page where the amphibious bounces down and then up again? That's exactly the one. So maybe the most dramatic, so there's this drawing approach where you lay out a page so that every page has at least one real focus image or an anchor image, so that every page is sort of sellable on the aftermarket because there's a character doing something kind of a little splash with it. But just from a storytelling point of view, you get Dazzler putting the flashlights on that dude, and that's a really good drawing. It the motion there is really good. Him in the foreground, her in the background or the middle ground really works. But Amphibious lands and then jumps. He goes. Actually, I should do it in this direction he goes this way, and his motion of landing on her and then bouncing off, it kind of animates between the two panels because he's keeping in the same direction. But I think if this page was going to be drawn by a lesser storyteller, they might have not had sort of an almost even 6 pieces, but maybe angled that one of him flying with Psylocke underneath as a more dynamic image in the middle. But he's kind of sacrificing spectacle for clear storytelling.
Right.
And I think he's just great. He's not doing that page, really dramatic page layout stuff where the energy is on the page layout as opposed to the clarity of the storytelling. He's still in service of the story, not in service of his own artistic interest. He's doing his job. And I think, again, the rendering is really good. The motion is really good, other than some ridiculous stuff with Allison bent over and, which we've seen a lot, a growing part of that, over the last many issues. I just think this is a really, really clear issue and rendered really well. And I think it's just great Marc Silvestri. And I'm excited to see what's coming. His covers have always been pretty good. We're getting some better ones showing up in the near future. David makes an interesting, point, calling him a jobber. There is sometimes, a discussion, often really loaded, about artists who are, or pencilers and inkers who are breaking ground and pushing boundaries and trying to do something new and taking risks, and other artists who are like fulfilling their quota. And sometimes it gets very loaded that like one is valuable and one is like, oh, you're lesser because you just fulfill your quota and doing your job. But at the same time, in the end, I mean, my attitude toward it is that your job is firstly to communicate the story, right? That's the primary job. But I also really do love artists that push boundary and try new things and experiment. But there's a time for both. Mm-hmm. And monthly comics, from like corporate monthly comics, are the time to do the job and get it done the way that best serve the story. I think when you start doing creator-owned stuff, or you start doing graphic novels, or stories that are for a bit of an older audience, where you're not on a monthly deadline, where you can try new things and bring your reader along with you in that experimentation and innovation, that's the time to push those boundaries. Mm-hmm. I don't think on X-Men is necessarily the right time. But just an opinion here. David says, I'm a jobber at best. Silvestri is a wizard. Ha 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 ha. You just said he's doing a job, so I focus on the shooter storytelling I don't love. Yeah, I do think he's doing a job, but he I think he's amazing at it. I think in terms of like the monthly deadline storytelling comics, I think he's a wizard. He's really, really good at it. And I kind of wish, obviously, we had gotten more years of him on other titles or other X stuff instead of going to Image. But there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good writer tandems with pencilers are magic. They're magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about in regards to this issue?
Oh, I think that's probably it.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I mean, we're getting, we're now back to some Savage Land villainy, so kind of villain of the week type stuff, although it's a prelude to the Shattered Star. So
yeah, I wonder what that is.
That is, but yeah, there's only half the team. So where are we going next?
Yeah, I don't know. My pup just showed up.
Oh
my goodness. Matt says he meaning Silvestri went on to Wolverine, and after this did some great work. I luckily have the essentials of those issues, and I will read them. I started reading them because they look really good, and I'm looking forward to continuing with it. I got some toys. Can I share some toys?
Yes, of course.
Well, okay, hold on. I got this one, which I already opened, which doesn't help. Hold on. Stay here, okay? Comics. I got.
Ooh, cool.
I can't wait. I've been waiting to open this to see you, because I want to show you that I got it.
Yeah.
Finally, some Rachel Summers to add to my team. All right, bye, buddy. Dog just left. The family just came home, so he's like excited to see everyone. Yeah. He just came to check in on me, make sure I'm still here. So that's super cool to have Excalibur Phoenix.
Totally.
But I also got Astonishing Beast.
Okay. That's pretty good.
It is. There, of course, are some limitations. I'm going to just change the view.
Is he bigger too? He looks a bit bigger.
Bigger than what?
Like, certainly bigger than Phoenix.
Bigger than Daredevil.
Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, I got some action figures.
Nice.
He's big, but like there's the other
ones.
Okay. They are comparable.
They are.
If you remember the storyline, it's like a second mutation. So there's definitely some room for it to look different, be on a different scale. I have not posed him particularly nicely for this, but you can't get more than that in terms of the crunch.
Right.
So some of those really great, energetic, lively poses from artists like Walt Simonson or Arthur Adams, where he's working on Blue Beast, you can't get this guy into any kind of crunched.
Right.
You can do all sorts of things where you get him in these poses.
Yeah.
But not much, no more crunch than that. You can't get the legs up. It comes with 2 heads. He has this and a growling face, but the sculpt is really good. He's got extra hands.
Your color looks good too.
Color is really lively. It's fun, and they've already given us Emma Frost in this team, Astonishing X-Men, John Cassidy. They've already given us Emma Frost, Cyclops, Wolverine, and now Beast. So we've got 4.
Yeah,
which we're kind of just missing. Maybe a 2-pack of Colossus and
Kitty.
Colossus and Shadowcat or Kitty
and
Pryde.
Armor.
Yeah, Armor would be a good Build-A-Figure, I think, for a wave. But I wonder how they're going to give them to us. But this is a much-needed one. I've always liked that run, and happy to have now a little unit of
Astonishing team.
Yeah, a little Astonishing team. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Sure.
I've really been enjoying this. I don't know. I have so many X-Men now. What else do I need to tell you? But I'll open that other one next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figures, man. So many figures. And I told you I got you one of these.
Yes.
It is off topic, of course. This is Daredevil action.
Yeah.
His hair is a little yellow.
Yeah. Instead of red,
orange or whatever. But it's definitely not a problem. It's just really fun to pose. And
look at him. This dude is big boxy.
Well, yeah, I mean that's me, right? He's always fighting, and he's pretty cool. I've gotten so many awesome figures in the last 2 weeks. Any extra cash from Fan Expo,
it's now gone.
There's a couple GI Joes that came out. There's a character named Budo, who is after. Budo?
I saw someone post something. Maybe it was Kev toying around. Maybe it was something.
Yeah. Oh, he comes with his sort of modern tactical samurai inspired armor. Then he comes with full change of armor where you get 14th century his ancestral armor. It is amazing to load him up in all of that gear. It's actually probably 16th or 17th century, but
sure.
Just awesome. Figure of the year. I don't know. It's that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very cool. Action figures, man. So I think that's there is one more thing I could just say about this. There's another page of original art that I saw online, and you can see how much just black they're throwing down with Havoc. He looks really cool with no mask.
Yeah.
I dig that this interpretation of him. But if you look at the Foster's can and both of those drawings in the top and the computer work in the back, you can see that Dan Green is working with non-archival material there.
Right.
It's just faded right out. It's gone red and brown. I wonder if he's working with just a pilot fine liner or something like that, just to get those sort of little detail lines down. But just funny to see the difference between archival material and non-archival material. But you don't know anything about that, eh?
Wouldn't.
No, Mr. Archivist. There you go. Next week, issue 250. And it feels like this is not significant enough to be a 250. It's a anniversary. This is the whole team is back together. It's the new team. It's either the everyone dies or everyone's back issue. And to have it as a Polaris, non-X-Men. I mean, I know she was on the team.
Yeah.
Not on the team. And
Zaladane.
So Lorna Dane, Zaladane. That's the story we're going with.
Is that what it is? Jeez.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it feels super anticlimactic.
Lorna Dane, Zaladane, Dane Cook. They're all part of it.
Yeah. Claire Danes. Yeah. Danishes. Anyway, it feels anticlimactic.
Just the Danes in general.
Yeah. Frederick Anderson.
Yeah.
Goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Lego.
Yeah, the system.
Yeah.
Anyway, but just putting that out there. Next week, issue 250. And then the week after is issue 251, which makes sense, but special. I think it's special. Yeah, very. Is it special? I don't remember anymore. But
we can make it as special as you want to make it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And that brings us to the end of another episode of our show. And I'm glad you could be here. Special thanks to, of course, all of you out in the chat, but even more special thanks to my good buddy Chris Hannigan, writer of Group of Seven, A Most Secret Tale, and Peregrines, Flights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs. You can find out more about our comics and upcoming appearances at groupofsevencomics.ca. You can follow us at Group of Seven Comics on social media. Please click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with us your take on this issue or anything X-Men related in general. And put them in the comments section below. And go dig out your old back issues, trade paperbacks, essentials, omnibuses, DVD ROMs.
Omnibuy, they're called.
Okay. Bootlegs.
Mm.
Or hop on an app and read along with us next week on Previously in X-Men. Thank you, bubs. And stay Xy.
Night-night.
Good night. Nice to see you. Hope everyone's good. Look after yourselves. Thank you, everybody. End the stream. And good night, Bijou.